My name is Pell, and here's my fuck it moment. It was my sophomore year of college, and I remembered that I couldn't pay like my tuition, so what I was gonna have to do is I was gonna have to drop out, like, or drop a semester, but I didn't want to like have to tell my parents that. So I remember I was staying at the dorm, shout out to Crites Hall. And one of my friends had just gotten like kicked out of his place. So like he was staying with me. Like my roommate was no longer with me anymore because we didn't get along on some beef stuff, because he was like trying to holler at my girl like every day or something. It was just really weird, which I didn't mind it, but it was just funny because he would like lie to me about it. Anyway, one of my homies was staying with me, and I remember like, cause he was about to finish his whole like collegiate career. If I were to have dropped out, like I would have like at that time, like I would have had to give up that spot, and neither one of us would have had a place to stay. So I stayed in college, like even though dropping out for a semester would have been better than dropping out in its entirety. I stayed that extra semester just so we could stay there. And like that entire semester, I made sure that I figured out how to like record, and like we actually finished a mixtape, me and one of my other homies. And then after that, like I completely dropped out. I'm talking about like every day I was skipping class just to go to record, because I knew that I wasn't gonna be in school like the next semester. That was like my fucking moment. I was like, yo, I'm not telling anybody this, like, but it's about to happen. Behind the scenes every day, I would go over there and wound up making like 30 tracks in the semester. And after that, I said, fuck it. And I wound up leaving, went on tour the next semester. So, I mean, it worked out, but that was definitely my fucking moment. Oh, my parents' reaction to the whole situation was just like, we support you kind of, but like you're going back to school. And it was just funny because I wasn't really making money off of music at the time. They were just, overwhelmed with the fact that I could even do that, like without letting them know, you know what I mean? And looking back on it, I could have informed them before, but now they're more supportive than ever. So I guess it worked out. And sometimes you got to take chances and you got to invest in yourself and believe in yourself before others do. Like, you know what I mean? If I were to just tell them that, they'll tell me like, no, that's a dumb idea, because it sounds dumb to everybody who's not trying to chase it. I felt like that was the reason why I just had to do it on the low, you know what I mean? And then I was out. I knew that I was gonna make music like for the rest of my life from the moment I stepped foot on a college campus. Like I knew that it wasn't for me. And I knew that I would try to figure out how I could make it for me, but at the same time, the farther I went along in the process, I started realizing more and more that I was opposed to the structure and just the way, that we were learning, because nothing that I really wanted to do could be applied. And I wasn't a music major. I was like studying finance. A lot of people go to school for their parents, you know what I mean? Like, especially undergrad, I'm saying. You go to like law school or like, to get your doctorate or something like for yourself. But you go to undergrad at least for your parents, just to show them that you care about the time that they invested in you. And you know what I mean? That was just my respect to my parents for me showing up. Because I already had it in the back of my mind as soon as I stepped foot on campus that I wasn't going to be there 4 years. The main message in terms of like what I did as it applies to anybody that listens to me or anybody that cares about what I do is you got to follow your dreams, because nobody can tell you what you want to do with your life. You know what I mean? And you have to experience things for yourself in order to know what you want. Especially I feel like we're put in a situation when we're younger, like that there's a rigid system that we have to follow in order to in order to like, be successful. And I feel like if you neglect that little voice inside of your ear for too long, like, you know what I mean? The voice that's telling you to push and believe in yourself and believe in the dreams or your own interests for too long, like you can let it die and you'll be, disappointed in those doors that you close without even noticing that you closed them. You know what I mean? So I feel like everybody should follow their dreams, or at least follow their passion to a point where they feel satisfied in what they've done with their life. I'm not saying you have to throw away all, like if you got a family, like, no, I'm about to be a garbage disposal man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to do that, but I'm just saying, like, there is a point in time where you have to care for yourself, and that's just what I did,
Every time he passes the weed back, it's wet. Oh, the weed's wet every time. Like, no, matter of fact, not every time, because he tries not to. I feel like not to, so it's not every time. But then there's times. Cool J ass.
By the time I was on the plane, they were asking me to leave. It just all started coming back to me the next day when Ivan was telling me how I was trying to talked to the pilot while I was on the plane. I was trying to convince the stewardess that I was totally fine.
And then when we go to the justice system for help, and we looking for them to change these laws and to give us some type of justice, it's not happening. So every time it's just another blow.
At the root of a lot of problems is a lack of love. There's a lack of God's love. There's a lack of brotherly love. There's a lack of respect. So take that message and package it up into this music, put it over this beat.